Have you ever played Mario Baseball and wondered what MLB players are comparable to the players in this game? Of course you haven't, but I have, and I've done the research and I've put together analysis to make everybody have comparisons for the MLB to Mario Sluggers. So in this video, we're going to find out what those comparisons were. Okay, here's the point of the video where I do the cliche, this many people are subscribed, this many people aren't who watch our videos, and then the numbers like crazy, because it is. So, it's real. So, please, if you can, subscribe. We'll make it worth your while. We post consistent NBA, NFL, and MLB content for you. Fun stuff like this, mini documentaries, analysis, power rankings, takes, and more. So, if you were to subscribe and really enjoy our content, that'd be great. Thank you. So, first off, we got Mr. Mario himself, of course. Who else to start off with but Mario? In the game, his stats, he could kind of do everything. You know, he can hit, he could field, he could run, he could pitch. And the only guy who I think, is worthy of that mantle is the face of baseball, Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, fielding, not going to apply. There's honestly no one to compare to Shohei in this game, which is kind of crazy considering, his speed, hitting, and pitching is all pretty damn high if he was in this game. But I think Mario's going to be the closest comparison we could get. He's a really just 5-tool player, like 6 tools. Ohtani, they're unicorns. Super Mario himself, Shohei Ohtani, no better comparison. Next up, we have my favorite character, Luigi himself, of course, the GOAT. Another 5-tool player, very similar stats to his brother, obviously. They do everything together. They're going to get similar stats. But who I'm going to pick with here, Luigi has better fielding than Ohtani, slightly worse hitting. So, you know who fits that mold perfectly? Francisco Lindor. Obviously, pitching not going to affect this one. Pitchers and hitters, because obviously in this game, everyone kind of does both. So it's going to be a little different, by the comparison to the game. But Francisco Lindor, 5-tool player, great fielder, great hitter, great runner, can really do everything. And I think that's the perfect person for Luigi. And also Lindor gets a little bit of that little brother syndrome. He's been snubbed of the All-Star game many times. I feel like Luigi probably feels the same way in terms of getting snubbed for things, snubbed being the main guy in games. He hasn't been an All-Star as a Met yet, as the time of recording this video. Hopefully that changes. And Luigi got his year of Luigi, so that changed for him. So I think the comparisons are really there. Next up, we have Wario. And for Wario, I got none other than a DH, Kyle Schwarber. I think a DH is a perfect fit for Wario because in the game, he really can't do much else besides hit. Slow runner, bad fielder. So that's a perfect place for Kyle Schwarber. He's a fantastic hitter, hits nukes just like Wario does. But on the base paths, much to be desired. And of course, he's a DH, so he's not going to be fielding. Wario in the game, you're usually just going to want to throw him at catcher or something where he's not going to see the ball or see the field. Because he's not going to get to a ball with his speed, and he's not going to catch it when he gets there. So Wario, you really are going to want to make sure he's, used for hitting mostly. Finishing off the Mario Bros and their weird cousins, question mark? I don't really know what to call Wario and Waluigi, but that's besides the point. We got someone who should be primarily used as a pitcher in the game, so we got our first pitcher on the list, and that is Waluigi being Garrett Cole. I think this is a great value here. He's a great off-speed pitcher. He really, gets a lot out of his pitches. And yeah, they're both, I've gotten all the stats so far off Baseball Savant. They're both 8 out of 10 pitchers. Waluigi 8 out of 10 for the number. And Garrett Cole 8 out of 10. Garrett Cole, Cy Young. Waluigi, I think, is the best pitcher in this game. He is just unreal. I have a few other pitchers on this list, but here's our first one, Waluigi to Garrett Cole. Next up, we have the opposite. We have a guy who just hits the absolute piss out of the ball. We have Bowser, and of course his composition is going to be the best hitter in the MLB for the best hitter in the game, and that's Aaron Judge. Bowser be Aaron Judge, back-to-back Yankees here. I think there's no question. Bowser's the best hitter in this game, and Aaron Judge is the best hitter. Simple as that. Not much more explanation needed. Next up, we have Bowser's son, of course, Bowser Jr., and his composition would be Fernando Tatis Jr. They could both run, they could both hit, they could both field. They kind of just can do everything on the field, whatever you ask them. Tatis can play any position, Bowser Jr. can play any position. And then they both get that factor of, having the showboat, having the celebrations, which I love, something you love from both of them. You think they have very similar personalities in a weird way, which is really fun, and I think would make a really good comparison. Next up, we have an elite center fielder who can hit the ball, and that's Birdo, of course. And the comparison for Birdo, because who fits that mantra? That's Julio Rodriguez. Any ball hit near him, he's a vacuum. He can get everything. Same with Birdo. Just Birdo uses special powers, and Julio Rodriguez is just kind of fast and runs to it. But, that's a comparison here for center fielder Julio Rodriguez to Birdo. Going for another elite fielder here, we got Yoshi, of course, who can catch the ball with his tongue, which I pray that no MLB player does because that'd be very weird. But we got P. Crow Armstrong as the comparison here. Can get to anything with his elite speed, steals bags, get to anywhere in center field, become an elite fielder, and can hit as well. You know, really just doing everything, but the speed and the fielding is the main selling point here. Next up, we got another pitcher, and we got one of the best pitchers in Mario Sluggers, Peach. And of course, our comparison will be one of the best pitchers in the MLB, and that's Tariq Skubal. I mean, just absolute dominance on the mound from both of them. Both great starters, can give you length and really, dominate a game in the Mushroom Kingdom or in Detroit, Michigan. Tell me which one of those places you'd rather be in. Unfortunately for Skubal, he gets to be in Detroit, but, I think it's a very good comparison, one of the best pitchers to one of the best pitchers. Keeping up with the pitchers, we got my favorite pitcher to use in the game, someone who throws really hard, and of course the other princess in the game, Daisy, and her comparison would be Paul Skeens. Throws absolute heat, gives you length, gonna strike out 150 batters, gonna get ground ball double plays, just really give you everything. My honest first overall pick if I'm drafting in this game, because she is just an absolutely nasty pitcher. And if I were to draft a pitcher first overall if I was doing a franchise, I would pick Paul Skeens. So the comparison here is undeniable. Moving on from that little pitcher tirade we had, and now we're going to an absolute power hitter, and that's Yordan Alvarez being Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is just absolute barrels up the ball constantly. He's going to hit bombs, clutch homers when you need him in game, and Yordan Alvarez is going to do the exact same. Sometimes fields, but mostly DH. Donkey Kong's like an okay fielder, but likely would be a guy you mostly want to just hit. Obviously, they don't have a DH spot in Mario Sluggers, but if they did, I think Donkey Kong would be a guy who goes there often, but could field as well, and I think Yordan Alvarez fits that bill really well. Next up, we have Diddy Kong, and a guy who can climb the wall and rob home runs, which is a unique ability he has. And obviously, he's going to rob home runs. He's going to play great defense. He could hit as well. And a guy who I think fits that, robbing a lot of home runs criteria, and that's Mike Trout. Mike Trout robs home runs, hits bombs, does everything. Everybody loves Mike Trout. Everyone loves Diddy Kong. Important there, obviously. And I could have made another joke here about who this player could have been, but we're just gonna, give the monkey a break, man. He didn't deserve any of this. He has nothing to do with that, so we're not gonna make that joke. But that's a great pick here for Mike Trout. Okay, now we're done with the captains, rounding out with Diddy Kong being Mike Trout, but now we're going on to just some of the regular players that I think are just perfect fits, and this one I think is absolutely perfect, and that is Kodai Senga being Boo. It's just perfect. The Ghost Fork, 9 out of 10 pitcher. He's a ghost, obviously, but that is just a perfect fit, and I could not pass up the opportunity to have Kodai Senga be Boo. I hope you all enjoyed. This was Mario Sluggers MLB player comparisons. Obviously, this isn't our traditional video. Thought it would be a little bit of a fun concept, a game I loved playing as a kid, and even now, it's very fun, and obviously, MLB content and analysis. So let me know if you want more stuff like this in the future, more fun videos like this, and if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Have a great day.